Oh no, I've done it wrong already. Here we go. We're bloody alive and haven't got it right. Here we go. Oh, no, what a disaster. Oh no, George, what the hell have we done?
I have no idea.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, here we go. Right, here we go. Let's do a new sequence. Here we go. Well, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to Talking Leeds. Well, that was a bit of a hectic start, a few technical difficulties. George, with that, so apologies if you caught the first 10 seconds of me panicking, not pressing a button. But good evening, George, Mr. Bearded Peacock Brook. How are we doing, sir?
Well, yeah, I'm okay, Aaron. Thank you. How are you doing?
Yeah.
A bit of, like you said, I don't know what the heck was going on there, but there you go. How are you?
It was a bit crazy, but episode 13 of this brand new podcast, which is good. So we're doing well, all good. A little bit cold, if I'm being honest, George. The winter snap is upon us.
Yes, I mean, before we get going, of course, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night to everybody, wherever you're watching, wherever you watch. I know it is a worldwide audience nowadays, so
it is.
You know, you've got to say good evening to Richard. Yeah, we're both okay. I think, Richard, how are you? There'll be a preview on my show for the Swansea game coming up in the next couple of days. So
is he he gets his little mention straight
in there. Well, I know Richard is an avid watcher of my channel, so there you go. I had to get it in. Like you said, the cold snap coming on now. Has it snowed by you? Has it?
It has. The snow is no more. The snow has gone.
It's gone already.
Yeah, which is a bit depressing. I was looking because obviously I work in the education. I'm like, yes, come on, please, snow. And then it just was ridiculous. I don't know what the fuss was about. Well, did you have much snow over your way, George?
Yes, plenty of it, Aaron.
Plenty of it. Did you get a snow day, though? That's the question.
Yes, I did.
Yes!
On Tuesday,
well done.
I did. I think, to be fair, I was trying to maybe blag another one today, but I don't think it would wash. So I think that's it now. I think the snow is still there. The snow is still here, but you know where I am, and and it's a little bit more countrified. I think maybe towards your end. So. Yeah. Oh, Jimbo, thank you for listening to Talking Brazil Ball. Yes, I don't remember quite if we probably did. We discussed a lot. we did discuss a lot. We do discuss, me and James, a lot about the kits, because the Brazilian sides do often like to bring out a whole boatload of kits during the season. Some even bring out 5, 6, 7 of them. So special edition shirts, all sorts. So yeah, we probably did. Did you listen to all of it, Jimbo? I'm interested to know about that. There will be another.
I did listen to it, George, and I thought it was quite an interesting chat about because you should be saving this for Tanaka time, but we'll briefly mention it now. I heard a conversation about a pig's head being thrown on the pitch.
Yes,
which I thought was quite good.
yes. That was the Sao Paulo derby, wasn't it? Corinthians won, didn't they?
Well, I don't know. But
yes,
what captivated me was how I think it was your brother who said that. Is he a vegetarian or something? And then, then a pig's head was thrown, on the, and you was thrown on the pitch at a corner or something. You just think, God, if that happened at Ellen Road, it'd make the front page of the Daily Mail.
Yes, well, it would exactly. I think it's different. It's different atmospheres in Brazil. It was quite a contentious talking point, but I'm happy everybody's listening. A couple of you guys are listening to it and hopefully learning. We've learned a lot, and there's another episode coming on the Friday. So
he's again with another shout out for his own show.
Less than 10 minutes in, and I've already plugged both of my other podcasts. So yeah, anything you want to say?
Oh God! Oh, brilliant. Well, anyway, we're talking Leeds, George, not Brazil ball or being
we're sort of integrating both, aren't we? But we are talking Leeds. We're here to talk about our favourite club, Leeds United, of course. And Aaron, there's been an international break. Thank you, Jimbo, for that. We appreciate it. But there has been an international break. Have you caught any international action, Aaron, was it being England or the ones that our boys are involved in?
I watched a little bit of England the other day. I must admit, and you know my thoughts on this pathetic competition, George, which is the Nations League. It's a waste of time. You don't really win anything. Yes, you win some trophy, and you're not going to be, like if you look at Spain when they won the Euros, they're the European champions. You look at Argentina, they're the world champions. Yes, you could be the Nations League champion, but it means nothing. Yes, and Jimbo said San Marino went up, which was great. I actually tweeted that from X. But do you know what? I'm glad it's over. I know Jerry was very, very keen for the Nations League. When we do a match reaction, there's a shout out coming your way on Monday with sponsor. I'll get my shout out. The internationals, it's a waste of time, George. The Nations League in particular, it's a waste of time. You don't win anything. You get promoted and relegated now. England got promoted. They absolutely smashed the Republic of Ireland. But I'm not being funny. I did see them when they lost to Greece, and I thought it was quite funny. But I have watched England. It doesn't mean anything. They didn't celebrate promotion like Leeds would do, going up to the League A. I just think it was a waste of time, if I'm being honest. Did you catch anything?
I watched the England game on Sunday only because I just
a lot of people
it.
just briefly speaking of England, a lot of people say, "Oh, it was brilliant! England destroyed Republic of Ireland 5-0," and I'm not bothered. They should be doing that anyway.
Well, yeah, of course they should, Aaron. It was 5-0, wasn't it? I watched the whole thing. I must admit, I was in the middle of watching Harry Potter, and I don't know if you like Harry Potter, Aaron, but
love it.
And of course you read the books as well. But I was in the middle of which one was I watching? I think it was the second one. I just finished watching the second one. And I was like, oh, it's about 5 o'clock. Oh, right. Oh, yeah, I remember England are playing. I'll just watch that now. So I watched that. But that's another debate for a whole new thing, isn't it? What's your favourite Harry Potter one? But I was enjoying it. But then I did actually England. I thought, wow, okay. 5-0, like you said, I agree, Aaron. They should have been beating Ireland that score anyway. Let's be honest, Ireland were absolutely horrendous. And once that guy got sent off, it was like men against boys. I mean, it was England were playing at like half tilt the whole of the first half, and Ireland never even got. I don't even know who was in goal for England. Was it Pickford? He didn't even get to touch the ball. I don't seem to remember. And then everybody's going on like, "Oh, England are the best," and Lee Carsley, give Lee Carsley the manager position. And what? They've already given Tuchel the manager position. I don't care. I don't even understand the Nations League, and I don't really want to.
Well, what my beef with the Nations League is when it first started, when we were doing LS11, I had a right good rant. You'll probably find it on YouTube when I had that massive rant about the thing. There was 3 teams in it when it first started and no promotion relegation things. Then they've introduced like it into a 4-group thing. And then there was only one person could get relegated and the rest stayed up. And then the Nations League winner would go through to like a semi-final thing. It's now gone into like quarter-final stages and promotion, relegation, playoffs. And you just think, what a waste of everybody's time. It really is. And like, I think Scotland, it was on the radio this morning, Scotland beat Poland, and they're now in, and everybody's buzzing in Scotland because they're in a relegation playoff. And I just think, why? Who cares? Nobody cares. I hope they get beat. I hope they lose. I hope they get relegated.
Well, yeah. I mean, I honestly don't. I don't even. It doesn't even touch the sides of me. I don't even.
No.
I don't care. They're just glorified friendlies. Who gives a toss? I mean, England won 5-0. Who cares? They should be doing that, like you said, against Ireland. They beat Greece 3-0. Well, that's what they should be doing, not losing to them at Wembley.
But then yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter. Who cares? I mean, our boys. I mean, I know. I heard about this, Jimbo, the other day. I was absolutely perplexed by it. They're doing a TV series of it. Who knows? But I'm there for the call. Give me a call. Whoever's orchestrating that. And
you need to do, given what Jimbo's just said there, you want to be, George will be great Hagrid on the new TV series. Why don't you give us an impression of Hagrid? Just say, you're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry. You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
You're a wizard. You're a wizard.
There you go. You just got yourself a role of Hagrid.
Oh, fabulous. I didn't realise that was an audition and you're doing it, Aaron. Fair enough. Oh, great.
Very good.
But no, Jimbo also says about the Nations League, it would be an audience with Keir Starmer. Now, not to bring it back into Brazilian football again, but Keir Starmer has been at the G20 summit, was it, in Brazil over the last couple of days. He was invited to the Fluminense, I think it was a training centre or something. So he was paraded round at Fluminense, I saw today. So that was interesting. But but the Nations League, they do Nations League in other countries now. Now
they do. That makes it even worse.
You know, Junior Firpo was involved. Brendan Aronson was involved as well. You know, and I think 1 or 2 others, obviously. But Brendan Aronson played US beat Jamaica, didn't they, on an aggregate score? I don't even understand it. And then Junior Firpo got 2 assists, and they absolutely destroyed Bermuda. But then they always seem to destroy teams. They've scored 12 goals in the international break. They won both games 6-1. What kind of opposition are they coming up against?
Well, this is the problem, isn't it, with these Nations Leagues? Is I know, like San Marino, it's like the biggest ever thing for them being promoted to League C or whatever it is, and it was the first time they've ever won. How many points
did they get?
I want to say 7, but ultimately with San Marino, it's a bunch of part-timers who are now going to go up to be playing against the likes of, I don't know, bloody Northern Ireland. I don't know who's in these Group C things, but let's say, for argument's sake, let's say, I don't know, Sweden. You know, they're just going to get absolutely annihilated. It doesn't do any justice for them whatsoever. But if you're a San Marino fan, it's probably the biggest thing ever done since quality. Well, they'll never qualify for a European Championship or the World Cup. Never, ever. You know, it's probably a big thing for them.
Well, yeah, it's massive, isn't it? They actually won a game of football. They won 2 games of football in that, you know, in that situation. Both against Liechtenstein, who, must be really, really embarrassed. But they're probably, you know, obviously even worse quality, aren't they? So, it's a whole load of rubbish. I more often than not kept an eye on what our boys are doing really instead of what England and that were doing. Although I did, like I said, I only watched it, Aaron, because it was
There's
football and
nothing
it was
else
on. You know what I mean? It was football, and you know what I mean. You want that football fix, don't you? Still, even though it is the international break, obviously, normal football now resumes, and you've put the season begin. The season began in August, mate, but I know it starts now.
It does, and that's what we named the show after this, because now there's no more silly nations leagues getting in the way of this. Now we've got a real good stig now, and a good slog from the 24th of November. Do you know when the next international break is, George? I'll tell you when it is.
It's the end of March, isn't it?
It's
the end of March, is it?
It's mid-March, so our final game before the next round of Nations League playoff finals, quarterfinals, or whatever the hell it is the 15th of March against QPR away, and then we run into March, and that's it. Because then I think there's only, I'm just counting here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games left then.
So yeah, by the time the next international break comes around, we know where
we will know
really.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll know whether we've got a chance still of automatic promotion or what the heck the situation is. So yeah, it's a good run of what's that? What did you say? 15 games? Did you say, or more than that?
More than that now, yeah, because it's 8 now. So yeah, we've got a real good slog now of proper football. Now, obviously, we're going to have the FA Cup thrown in there as well, but not having a break. And I think that's what has been a real pain for Leeds United over the last couple of years, is these international breaks. It disrupts the season. And I think now you would hope, and I would hope to God, that come March, and I know this sounds bonkers, but it's only 4 or 5 months away, we will have a good understanding when the next Nations League bollocks comes up. We will know where Leeds United sit, if they are literally in the mix, or if they only need 9, 12 more points. We should really know where Leeds are. And that's why the season, for me, kicks in on Sunday.
Yeah, it is. They can concentrate solely on club football week to week, maybe 2 times a week. Obviously, we've got the game next Wednesday against Luton. So it's relentless now till March, and it's just all focus, all go on getting Leeds United promoted. We haven't really, I know Rich was making the point about them saying that they've got more games and all this, and, on his point on the Nations League, but we don't have that many international players, really, if you look at it. I think there was 10 of the first team squad that went away on international duty this time. I don't think there's too many more after that with the first team squad. So,
you're right. But regardless, you look at some Premier League teams, some of them have got 10, 11, 12 as well. And, not the whole squads go off even in the Premier League or in the Championship. Leeds, I think, have got, it'd be interesting to see, a table ranked of all the, players who've gone off on international duty this time, and just rank them just generally from the Premier League and the Championship. Because I'd be genuinely interested to see who, which players haven't gone off around the world and who have. But what's frustrating for Daniel Farke is 10 players or whatever for Leeds. That's a huge chunk. You can't do anything with them on the training pitch. You can't do anything. They're probably just coming back tomorrow. A lot of them have been traveling, like, look at Tanaka, you look at Firpo, or, halfway around the world just for these glorified friendlies, which is ridiculous. But that's what it is. And I just think what gets me is it's the travel time. I think we saw it. We didn't really see it against Sheffield United, did we, in the last kind of game after an international break? We didn't really see any kind of knock-on effects of, jet lag or anything like that, did we?
No, and I think even before that, Aaron, excuse me, they'd only got back like the day or two before. I think the lads, all of them finished. Most of them, they're all done now. Most of them played yesterday. Likes of Tanaka and Firpo played 11 o'clock last night against Bermuda. And so he's then, the game's not till Sunday. So they do have a little bit of time. They'll probably be back now, around about now, or in the early hours of tomorrow, Thursday morning. So
Yeah.
they've got enough time. That's a few days. I know Fark won't have them on the training pitch. He'll have them recovering. But, he said in the last one before the Sheffield United game, all you do, you give them tapes and stuff to watch. They won't be non-contact with the coaching staff while they're on international duty. I'm sure they'll be getting videos of certain players sent to them for the Swansea game, for example. This is what he does. Watch it in your downtime while you're doing whatever. You know what I mean? And they're away, but they're still interacting with the coaching staff. I'm sure Daniel's had the players that aren't on international duty out on the pitch quite a lot, and they'll be raring to go. They'll be raring to get back into it. And let's be honest, Swansea, although they are quite defensively sound, they don't score too many goals. And I watched them, obviously not the weekend gone, the weekend before. Obviously, Burnley were quite lucky to get a last-minute penalty to win the game. Yeah. They weren't too bad, actually, but they were poor. There weren't a lot of attacking threat, but defensively they were quite solid. Although, I'll be honest, Burnley didn't really threaten them. I think we'll beat Swansea comfortably, as we should, really, and as we did last season down there.
And then after that one as well, after Swansea at the weekend, we've got Luton Town at home. Have they sacked their manager yet?
I don't know if they have, Aaron. I will have to check that.
They haven't. Yeah, he's literally a lot of Luton fans. I don't know if you've seen it on X. It's a great place to follow football fans. Is X, but a lot of them are absolutely furious with. Is it Nathan Jones?
It's no, it's Rob Edwards. Rob Edwards.
Who is he?
Yeah, Rob Edwards. Rob Edwards. He's been in charge. He was there the whole year last season. Yeah, they're not very happy. They're only sitting. I think they're sitting level on the relegation zone, actually, with the relegation
Rob Edwards,
zone.
My apologies. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, I think he's the level with the relegation zone.
They are.
They haven't started well at all.
They are. Yeah, you're right.
But knowing our luck, Aaron, you know what'll happen, don't you? They'll lose on Saturday and sack him, and then have a bounce on Wednesday for our game. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? They've
lost 8 games this season of Luton. And I actually thought Luton this season would be up there in that top 6 because they kept the bulk of their Premier League squad together, and they've just not recovered whatsoever after Luton. That's what gets me. I don't understand that. The relegation for them really, really hurt, I think.
Well, I mean, I don't know why, because they would have probably expected it going into the season. In my mind, I wouldn't have put them in anywhere near promotion this season, to be honest. I think they're a poor squad. The manager's all right, but he's probably a little bit overhyped. And obviously, like you said, a lot of the fans are not very happy with how it's going, and why would you be? I think they are level. Are they level? I think they are level. I think they are level, aren't they?
Luton Town are currently level. Yes, they're just outside on goals scored of Cardiff City in 22nd. Yeah.
So, why would you be happy? I'm sure they won't be anywhere near the relegation zone, but it's a concerning situation for the fans. Rob Edwards has probably come to the end of his tenure. I mean, he did fantastic to get them up, but football fans, as we know, have short memories nowadays. If it's not going well, they want you out quickly. And I'm saying it. I don't know who they're playing on Saturday, Aaron, but I'm calling it.
Would you like me to tell you? Would you like me to tell you who they are playing on Saturday? Luton Town are playing the mighty at home Hull City.
Oh, so that's a big game because they're down there as well, I think. They're down there, aren't they, at the moment? I think that's a kind of whoever loses gets sacked kind of thing, because the man at Hull is under a lot of pressure as well, the German fella.
So they're on the same point. So Hull, Preston, Luton and Cardiff, they're all on 15. Plymouth 16, Coventry 16, Oxford 17, Sheffield Wednesday 18, Norwich 18. It's a really close, congested kind of bottom half of the table. QPR who are poor anyway. They're on 10. Portsmouth are on 12 as well. So it's a really kind of congested bottom half of the Championship table.
Well, it always is, mate, isn't it? It always is. It's always quite close. I think, I think they're gonna. Basically, I think whoever loses that game between Hull and Luton, either manager's going to get sacked. Yeah. Obviously,
but when you look at it on the flip side, George, Swansea, who we play on Sunday, 19 points. They're in 11th. They're 4 points away from 22nd. So you just look at those. It only takes from 11th down to get on a decent run, and they're in and around that playoff area quite quickly.
Well, that's what I mean. It's always quite congested. It's quite easy with 2 or 3 wins. Let's be real, Aaron. Sometimes we play 3 games in a week. If you win all 3 of them games, you're right up there towards wherever. So and lose them, you're right down there again. So it's difficult to predict, but I do predict if either one of them loses, I think the manager goes. If it's Rob Edwards and Luton, then obviously we've got a bit of a game to think about on Wednesday at Ellen Road. But I think again we should beat Luton again with it being at Ellen Road. I've said it before in this division now, and I'm not concerned in any way against many teams at Ellen Road because I think that we're far superior to most of them, particularly at home. Like Richard says, look, 12 points from the next 5. I'm not sure who the next 5 are against.
I can tell you, George, if you would like me to tell you. Leeds have got I think they've got a really tough bunch of fixtures. We've got Swansea away, Luton at home, Blackburn away, Derby at home, and then Middlesbrough at home. So those are the next 5 for Leeds United. I think they're a tough bunch.
Just ask you, Aaron, you say it's tough. What the hell is tough about that?
Blackburn away is always a tough game. I think Swansea and Luton. Look, listen. We thought after the Sheffield United game, Leeds would go out and smash Bristol City, Millwall, and co. And we really struggled against those teams. When I look at that set of fixtures there, I think Swansea away will be difficult. I don't think they're going to be as easy as we think. Luton, it depends if they've sacked the manager or not. Blackburn away is a tough ground to go. Derby at home, we should be beating them if I'm being honest. Middlesbrough, I think Middlesbrough are really, really tough. They're a good squad. They're in and around. I know that they're not in that kind of top kind of 3, but when you look at Middlesbrough, they've been grafting some results recently of Middlesbrough, and I think they're a team to watch for me. I know they're 7th at the moment, but they seem to have got their act together, and they're in and amongst that little mix there.
Yeah, Middlesbrough are always going to be around that area, aren't they? And I mean, they better win that one, Aaron, because I'll be going to this one.
Oh, so he's going to a game.
They better win it. Richard says they might lose to Middlesbrough. I hope we do not, because I'll be at that match. So they better win that one.
Don't you go sitting behind Daniel Fark, will you? Because you'll be kicking off. You'll be giving him a future here, Daniel pal. Come here.
Yeah, well, there you go. But no, look, like I said, for me, those 5 games, you've got to be looking at winning all. You say Blackburn's a tough game, place to go. I don't think it is. I think
they're 9th in the league.
Yeah, well, so it's not too difficult, is it? Then, really, if you think about it. I mean, if you look at, but we're looking at these fixtures, Aaron, and thinking how many points you've got to get. I don't know. I mean, Blackburn. I don't think really. At home, they've won most of the points at home, but
and it is away from home. I just think every game away from home for Leeds United this season is difficult. But I do think, we're coming up against Blackburn Rovers. You know exactly what you're going to get from them. They're going to be very, resilient. They're going to be very defensive. And we struggle to break those types of teams down. Same with Swansea. And then, depending if Luton sack the manager, you just don't know. Middlesbrough, it's like what Richard said there. Similar stats apart from the defence. They're going to be difficult. Every game is going to be difficult, but so long as we just keep ticking away in and around this little area, and I do think the Christmas period for Leeds is going to be the one which really allows us to really kick on and get a bit of a gap going now between third and second, hopefully.
Yeah, you look at it and you think 5 games, the next 5 games on the lead up to kind of Christmas time. Where are we after that? And then can we push on over Christmas? I mean, pick the wrong game. I don't know, Richard. It was just the way it fell, really, for me. But yeah, Middlesbrough, they are a good team, and I kind of like them. Michael Carrick, they are starting now to get going. So it will be a different game. Obviously, beat us comfortably in the cup at Ellen Road. At the start of the season, it will be a completely different game to that. Obviously. But yeah, let's wait and see.
Interesting though, Josh, because the way the fixtures come round, obviously we played Derby on the 7th of December, and then we played them again away from home on the 29th of December. We then played Blackburn at home as well. So the way the fixtures work out, you're going that it's literally within the space of a few weeks you're playing each other again.
Yeah, I mean that's a bit strange how it's worked out that way. I don't think it usually works out like that, but obviously there's some kind of reason for it.
Yes,
like I said, I mean Derby, they don't worry me home and away. We should beat them. Blackburn again. They're a team that are always hovering around the playoffs, but everybody is. It's such a congested division. So again, I think we should be able to beat them sort of teams. So. Look, it's going to be tight, obviously, than it was last season, and we've got to really be concentrated because if we can be able to bridge a gap, I said it, I think last week, Aaron, I think it will be between us and Sheffield United, who kind of go and try and win the division. So it's whether we and them can bridge a gap between third position. And I think at the moment we've got to bridge a gap between 7th position. That's what we've initially got to see as the initial goal. Obviously, we want to be in the top 2, but top 2 after 46 games, that's the aim. You know what I mean? Initially, we've got to make sure that we're in the playoffs and bridging that gap to 7th position. So,
there's
just
currently
keep
a 5-point cushion between us and 7th, which I think is okay at this stage of the season. 5 points is a lot for anybody to try and make up.
I think it is, yeah. With the form that we're, hopefully gonna go into, and yeah, I think 5 points. We're no mugs in this division. They're not naive Leeds, and I think they know what they're coming up against, and they will, do the homework on each and every team. And Swansea on the weekend. Let's be honest, like I said, we should beat them. We beat them comfortably last year. I know it's it's the same manager. It's a different regime, potentially different season, obviously, but we should beat them again. Obviously, we've got a few lads who will be up for that one, like Yo Perot, Dan James, Joe Rodon. There's quite a few former Swansea lads as well. Jimbo was saying polish your binoculars for the Derby game, of course. We'll have to roll out Victor Orta for that one as well. And when do we play? I don't know when we play Coventry down there. Has Frank Lampard been
not yet? I don't think. Not yet. Anyway, right. I'll tell you what, George. It's time for a little feature. Let's do this. It's Tanaka time, George. I think it's hilarious that we've got these little features now. George, what's caught your eye this week?
Well, we just mentioned Victor Orta, didn't we, Aaron? And it's Victor Orta who's the subject of my Tanaka time this week. And what I've seen this week, Aaron, of him, he's been talking again about the time where he decided not to sign Victor Gyökeres, who's currently firing in the goals. He scored 4 goals last night, albeit against Azerbaijan for Sweden. But he's hit something like 30, 31 goals already this season. It's November. And our Victor was speaking, of course, about when he was at Leeds, he had the opportunity to sign him, but he turned it down. He thought £11 million was too much to sign him from Coventry in January 2011. And we went and signed Jorginho Rutter instead for like over, well, nearly double, probably triple the amount that Gyökeres would have cost. So he's my Tanaka time this time. But I also wanted to just open up an old school debate of Victor Orta. And what was his best signing, do you think, at Leeds? Obviously, he's still at Seville. He's still at Sevilla, isn't he?
Can I just add on that Gyökeres thing there? Listen, that guy was an absolute disaster for us. Victor Orta should have just said, you know what, 11 million quid, proven champion. This is what we said this on LS11 back in the day, George.
Yeah.
They needed to sign a proven goal scorer at that time. Genuinely, if that signing would have come off, yes, we could say Ruto was brilliant, but at the time, he wasn't really needed for us. He came alive last season, did Ruto, but at that moment, we needed a proven goal scorer who could put the ball in the back of the net. He could. Why the hell we didn't sign him is beyond me. Great Tanaka time, by the way, because he just can't seem to let things go, can't Victor Orta, can he? He's just an absolute muppet. He really is.
Yeah, he really is.
I can't believe he's come out and said that, because it's just made himself look really bad even more.
Yeah, but I think he's made himself. It's just like, let me get in on the Gyökeres kind of.
It's like he's rubbing salt into our wounds.
Well, that's it, isn't it? And he's probably a little bit sour in the way that he left. He's probably is a little bit upset. But then again, just leave it as it was. We didn't sign Gyökeres. He's firing the goals now. It doesn't matter. He's absolutely on. He's on fire.
He is on effing fire, is the guy.
He really is.
He's been linked with a move to Arsenal, I think, hasn't he?
He's been linked with everybody. I mean, Barcelona, Man United, everybody.
The lads, worked for it, but come on, Victor Orta, you can't come out and say that, because it's absolutely ridiculous. You just make yourself look even more foolish. And like what Richard said there, Orta's had some hits. Of course he did. Rafinha, for me, in my generation, I think is one of the best players I've seen play for Leeds United in a Leeds United shirt, hands down. And look at him now. He's absolutely flying, is the lad. And I think he will be, he can only get better. But when you look at what Orta did there, you just think, God, 11 million quid, that's worth a punt plus, and then, but with somebody Weston McKennie, which probably cost us 11 million quid in a loan fee. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, the whole technique and strategy was all wrong. I mean, if you want to sign him, you sign. I don't know how old he is, Gyökeres, but I think he's mid-20s.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
he's 25 maybe. So, prime age kind of thing. Would have found the net, I'm sure, and maybe got us a few points on the board that might have kept us up. Would have been there now? Probably not. But he would have been important at the time, so the point still stands. And I think Orta...
Well, what was it when we got relegated? Was it 6 points or something?
I can't remember. I can
have a look in the Premier League when we got relegated in 22-23, 31. It was 5 points.
So 5 points, and that could have been made up, couldn't it? 3, 5, 6, 7 goals. Well, more than that, because it had come in January. So who knows what might have happened? Obviously, Orta decided not to at the time for some reason. Probably because he was playing in the Championship, he probably didn't want to do that. But, there are good quality. The Championship is a lot better quality than it was, 5, 6, 7 years ago even. So, you can't stick your nose up at him, really. And he's gone on to, it's an absolute mad record he's got. Something like, I don't know what it is, 69 goals in something like 66 appearances. And then he's just banging them in for Sweden as well. So it seems like he dropped the ball there with that. But again, he wasn't to know. He could have brought him in and him being a flop. It's just one of them things, isn't it? But yeah, exactly. Or he was probably coming in with a blank check, but he should have had a team of people working together. I think he was just doing it basically by himself a little bit, to be fair. And I don't know how hard that is. Obviously a hard decision, but it's a hard position to be in. What he had,
but when when at that time, George, when you were crying out for a number 9 and just somebody who could put the ball in the back of the net, it doesn't matter where we were coming from. We were crying out for a striker. We were too reliant on Bamford. He was missing shots left, right, and centre. Rutter, for me, at the time, wasn't the solution because he didn't have that impact he was supposed to have. But yeah, it's all this what's and buts, isn't it now? But can I just give you my Tanaka time? Tanaka time this week is snow because it's been the overreaction from the media. And this is where I get the whole Donald Trump fake news kind of media thing, that the weatherman, Paul Hudson, the weatherman, he was on Look North, George, on bloody Monday night. He was forecasting Armageddon, Snowmageddon. It's going to be 15 centimetres, 20 centimetres, and it's going to be crazy. And in the UK, if you're listening worldwide, we had a little bit of snow in Leeds. Well, we had a little bit, but it wasn't anything which was being predicted. And I just think surely we've got the technology these days to sort snow forecasts out. You look in Canada, you look in Sweden, and I know we get some listeners in Sweden. They get tons of the stuff and they survive. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. And I just think they could surely, Paul, the weatherman, who is a Bradford City fan, he needs to sort it out. Sort it out, please.
Yeah, well, I've met Paul Hudson a long time ago.
You used to go to my school, did Paul Hudson?
Did he? I didn't realise he was still doing it, actually, but I don't know.
Paul, sort your technology out. That's my
I mean, to be fair, you're berating it. We got quite a lot here, to be fair.
Yeah, but what the point I'm trying to say is, if you get a lot, we get not. Number one, we can't get the prediction right. We can predict when it rains. We can predict when it's sunny. We can predict when it's windy. Why can't we predict when it snows? We have, if Elon Musk can put things in the air, tons, all this sort of, why the hell can't we predict when snow falls? But then what annoys me even more is that when you look at countries like Canada and Sweden who get tons of the stuff, they don't go, oh, it's Armageddon, we have to close everything down. We just get on with it.
Yeah, of course. It's like everyday thing, isn't it? For certain countries, certain cities, it's every single day. Snow never leaves them. So yeah, people do panic here, and people get way too excited for me about snow. But then there you go. It just is what it is. You've just got to get on with it. Sometimes it allows me to have a day off work, so I don't really care, to be fair.
Anyway, has anybody got anything for Tanaka time in the comments? Please do let us know, and we'll pop it in as well. So, yes, Scooby D, good evening to Scooby D 2. They did predict snow. You're all right. We only got a bit, but it's bloody cold. Yes, it is. George, you got snowed in, and the world stopped in the UK. It's just another day in the office. Everywhere else.
Well, there you go. Obviously, I work outside, so I can't really work in the snow. But there you go. It's just one of them things. I saw the snow, thought, right, I'm going back to bed. And there you go. That's what happened.
Right, let's leave Tanaka time there for this week. Forget as well, I've got the Leeds United Trivia Challenge coming up a little bit soon. And do you want to know the category for this week's Trivia Challenge, George?
Yes, I would actually. Aaron.
It's the Sergeant Wilco years.
Wow. So what was the other? Did you have two other?
We had two other ones. We had the Bielsa era and the Don Revie era as well. So it was the Sergeant Wilco.
Well,
do you want to do the quiz now? I think you want to lead me into the Leeds United Trivia Challenge. Should we get it done?
Well, I can do, if you want to.
Right, let's do it now. Back-to-back features. Here we go. Leeds United Trivia Challenge time then after Tanaka time. My God. Richard said Tanaka was this season's bargain. That's why we've named a feature after him, Richard, for Tanaka time. It's what's caught your eye throughout the week. If you want to get involved next week with Tanaka time, you can do, but it's Leeds United Trivia Challenge where you've got to get 5 questions out of 5 to say you're a real fan. George only got 4 last week, and he's got to get 5 and redeem himself. So, George, can you confirm that your comments are off?
Just a minute.
No cheating allowed on the Leeds United trivia quiz?
Yes, they are. Yes.
Excellent. Good stuff. So it is a quiz about Howard Wilkinson's time at Leeds United. Get involved in the comments if you know the answers. And keep your own scores. Get your pen and paper ready. So, go on then, Scooby-Doo. What's caught your eye is in Headingley. No prizes for guests. It's got to be the Otley Run. But we're doing the quiz now. So, George, question number 1 in Howard Wilkinson's time at Leeds is, number 1, what year did Howard Wilkinson become the Leeds United manager?
Boo, I mean, this is a little bit before my time, if I'm being completely honest.
He's getting the excuses in.
I think I'm going to have to guess here, but I think it was 1985, maybe.
1985? Is that what you're saying? Is that your final answer?
Yeah, I think so. But I'm guessing. Honestly, I don't know.
You don't know. Well, George, Howard Wilkinson became the manager of Leeds United in 1988. 3 years out. 1988. Oh dear. Blast. Well, anyway, George, which year, for question number 2, which league title did Leeds United win under Howard Wilkinson in 1992?
It was the Division 1 title.
The first division is correct, sir. The first division. If you'd said Premier League, I'd have said no because it wasn't formed.
Absolutely.
So, question number 3: who was a key signing made by Wilkinson that significantly contributed to Leeds' title win in 1992?
Oh, Eric Cantona.
It was. Well done to those who are getting involved as well. 1988 says Scooby-Doo. Division 1 says Jimbo. Eric Cantona is the correct answer. Well done, George. 3 so far out of 5. Question 4 is this: what was Leeds United's achievement in the 1989 to 1990 season under Howard Wilkinson? What was the achievement?
What
is it? Come on.
Was it fair? I don't know. Was it?
What did
European,
they win?
Was
what
it?
Did they win in 1989? What did they win in the 1989 to 1990 season?
Was it the Charity Shield?
No, it was not the Charity Shield, George. Well done to Jimbo and Scooby-Doo too. It was the second division title. They were promoted to the first division as second division champions.
Right.
Dear George. And question 5, and your final one of your Leeds United trivia quiz this week is: why is Howard Wilkinson notable in the history of English football managers?
Well, he managed England, didn't he? I don't know.
Why is he the? Why is it quite a historic thing what he's done, George? Why is it historic?
Idea.
What's notable about him?
I don't know. He's a nice man.
Let me say the question. He's a nice guy. But why is Howard Wilkinson notable in the history of English football managers?
I don't know. Did he beat?
It's not sports science, Scooby-Doo. It's not.
Did he beat Argent? Did he beat?
I'll give you a clue
team?
because I don't want you to feel badly on this. Think of his nationality.
Well, he's English, isn't he?
Yes. So put the 2 together.
Oh, he was the. Was he the first? I don't know. I don't know. Was he the first English manager to manage England or something like that? Can't have been.
No. Right, I'll give you it, George. Listen, he was the last English manager to win the top flight league title. Richard got in the end. Well done to Richard and Scooby-Doo. He's the last English manager to win the top division title. So, George,
that was
this week.
That was a difficult one, Aaron. Like I said, it's not really my. I don't know too much about that. If I'm being completely honest.
So you got a disastrous 2 or 3.
Yeah. Well, I'll take it.
2.
Was it only 2? Well, I'll take it. That was all right, really.
Yeah, 2. Well done.
I would have done a lot more with the other 2. I would have said. Obviously, even the Riviera would have got more
But
than.
again, we'll put another poll out next week before our show. So do get us followed on X, and you get to choose what category George has to answer questions to. But he got a whopping 2 or 3 out of 5. Jim got 4 out of 5. He was 1 year out for the first one. Yeah, it catches a lot of people that out. But well done to everybody. And that's the end of the Leeds United Trivia Challenge. Righty-ho then, George. We've got a prediction. Leeds United take on Swansea City away at the whatever it's called, Swansea.com City Stadium these days, down in South Wales on Sunday, 3 p.m. kickoff, I believe. George, what's your prediction for this one?
Yeah, it's a really random kickoff time, isn't it? They seem to have introduced this season, a Sunday. Only just the one Sunday 3 o'clock kickoff. We'll all be thinking, is it Saturday today? You know, is it Saturday 3 o'clock? I don't know. Yeah, we're going to beat them 5-0.
5-0. Wow. 5-0. But we've also got another prediction as well, because by the time we come on and do our next show next week, Leeds United will play Luton Town at home on Wednesday night against Ellen Road. It's going to be tough for that one, I think. But George, what's your prediction for Ipswich, for Luton Town? I wish we were playing Ipswich. Luton Town at home.
2-0.
2-0. Okay. What are your predictions in the comments? Get them in. Start with Swansea. I think the Swansea game isn't going to be as easy and plain sailing as 5-0. I wish it would be. We do need to hammer somebody, let's be honest. We do need to get a really good hammering in. But I don't think Swansea will do it. I think they'll play very defensive. I think it's going to be a tough game. I think Leeds will struggle to break them down. It'll probably be 0-0 at about half time. They'll get a rocket up their ass. Brendan Aronson will do something magic. And we'll score. I think we'll win 1-0 against Swansea. I don't think it's going to be as plain sailing as we think. And then Luton for me, George. It should be an easy game at Ellen Road. I think I'd expect 3-0 all day long.
Yeah, I think at home it's a different kettle of fish, isn't it? I do agree. Maybe 5-0 is a little bit optimistic, Aaron, but I think Swansea will play defensive. They're, like I said before, at the top, quite a defensive kind of team. They don't let that many in, but we have quality to open them up. And like we saw last season with them, you know, we completely wiped the floor with them early doors, and the rest of the game was plain sailing. I mean, Jimbo says 1-1, 3-2. Richard 3-0 against Luton. He said Swansea 2, Leeds 0. I don't know about that, Richard, but you know, he said he
means 2-0. He means 2-0.
Leeds. That's probably more realistic, isn't it? Although Swansea, you never know, do you? But like I said, the attack-wise, they don't seem to have that much threat about them. Richard, I wasn't even born, mate, in that year, in those years, so I did miss the whole thing, but not because it was snowing. So there you go. You know, that was it. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, you were, I think, but
I was just born 1988. I was born.
Right, okay.
But I have read. I've got a book. I got it from Costco a couple of years ago. It's got all the Leeds United history in it. It's got like articles, you know, from like lots of different articles of Leeds United's history, and I do read it. It's quite good. It's from when they were formed right up to when we got promoted under Bielsa, so it's good. But yeah, Richard says we'll win all of them except for Middlesbrough. Richard, we had this chat a few weeks ago. We thought we were going to win every game before the last international break, and we didn't. And I do hope we do win them all, because we do need to get a bit of a run together. But yeah. Saying Middlesbrough will be a tough game, but who knows, George? They're always tough games out there in the Championship.
They're all tough games. At Ellen Road, everybody sets up a little bit more defensive. Even the top teams, and try and hit us on the break. So it's going to be difficult. It's always difficult. It's a long season, and there are difficult games coming up. And we won't win them all. We will have frustrating times, whether it's a draw or whether it's the defeat. Sometimes it will be. It's right to the end. It's going to be. There's going to be twists and turns, as there always are. There'll be disappointments, and then there'll be highs of, oh, we're going to win, and then they'll lose a game, and then, oh no, we're back in the championship again for another year. So, you know what I mean? People, eventually, if we're there in amongst the mix at 44, 45 games, and we're in the top two, then then we can get a bit excited maybe. Until then, it's all just a little bit of a slog, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Well, George, let's hope that Leeds United can bring home, before the next time we speak, 6 points. It would be good. Be a great start to the season, as the season can now begin. It'd be great if we can get 6 points on the board next week, before we speak next week. But don't forget as well, do give us a like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that, share, ring the bell, ring the bell thing. Do all that sort of stuff. Listen to us again if you really want to on all the podcast providers. But yeah, we'll be back next week, George, won't we? With Tanaka Time and another Leeds United trivia challenge for you. But yes, George, you might as well give your channels another couple of shout outs.
Yeah, I think there'll be a bit more maybe to get into our next week, because obviously we'll have 2 games to talk about. We haven't had a game to talk about this week, really. So a bit more to talk about. If anybody wants to go listen to my Brazilian podcast with my brother James, it'll be on Spotify now, the latest episode, and it'll be on YouTube, of course. Go watch that, talking Brazil ball, me and him talking about Brazilian football. Also, obviously, you guys know more to the point, my channel, The Bearded Peacock. We're back into action now with the games coming again. Like I said, preview for the Swansea game will be up. Probably do it either tonight or tomorrow, so it'll be up in the next couple of days.
And following on from that, George, don't forget you can listen to a match reaction with me and Jerry. And don't forget, if you subscribe to this YouTube channel, you'll get a little notification when we go live. It's normally on a Wednesday or a Thursday, depending on what mood we're in. Probably Thursday next week for us because of the game on Wednesday. But yes, we will be back next week. And don't forget to give us a like and a subscribe, and subscribe to George's channels as well. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for listening, guys.
See you on the next one, everybody. Marching on together. Let's get those 6 points in the bag.
Not 3-1-6. Ta-ra!